Sophia enters her office in a great mood, and that makes Annie wonder if Sophia finally took her advice and spent some romantic time with Shane. Sophia chooses to not answer her question yet, keeping up the charade of being in the best mood ever. She attributes her good mood to the website launch, which is in 10 days, and the fact that they have checked all the boxes on her checklist, and the fact that Annie will throw a great launch party for her. Everything's coming up her way and Sophia almost feels better. But just when she thinks she is past the betrayal, the song echoes in her ears. The same one that was on when she found Shane cheating on her. And just like that, Sophia's facade of being okay comes crashing down. Not wanting to think about it, Sophia distracts herself by adding more things to the already complete checklist. She wants to add more clothing items to the inventory. Sophia shops at Mobius's thrift store and also confirms his attendance at her launch party. But just as Sophia's work is done, and her mind is off work for even a second, the song starts playing in her ears. Sophia can't help but imagine Shane's face staring at her from an album cover. But the second she is distracted, the image vanishes. Later that night, Sophia is sorting clothes. But she still can't escape the song in her head and the thoughts that it brings forth, and then she gets a text from Shane informing her that he's home. Sophia lays next to him that night, but she can hardly sleep. She is trying to do everything to avoid voicing out the truth she knows. Days pass by and Sophia still sleeps next to Shane every day, and the man remains oblivious to the fact Sophia knows about his indiscretions. But his betrayal is driving her crazy. Sophia finally admits the truth about Shane's betrayal out loud to the old lady on the bench. It is the same old lady Sophia often visits on the same bench to talk about her life crises. And this is the first time she has said the words out loud. She thought she could make it to the launch without dealing with Shane's betrayal, but Sophia can feel herself losing her mind like this. She feels heartbroken and sad and all the other emotions she does not currently have the luxury to feel. When Sophia admits to the old lady that she does not want to break up with Shane, the old lady slaps some sense into her. She tells Sophia that she just has to make a choice about this. Nathan, on Annie's request, has set up his art piece at their office as a gift for Sophia. While talking to Kavi, Nathan finds out that she was recently hired by Sophia, and an idea strikes him. He then asks Annie if he could help her with the launch since he is in between passions right now and is in desperate need of filling up his time. Annie agrees to let him help decorate for the party. Sophia finally gathers enough courage and strength and shows up at Shane's recording studio. As she waits for his session to be over, Sophia can't help but reminisce about the first time she saw Shane playing drums at the bar, and she smiles fondly at the memory. But when she sees that girl being playful with Shane, Sophia's anger returns with vengeance. She calls Shane out in front of the entire studio, holding him accountable for cheating on her. Shane doesn't get a chance to explain himself, and Sophia confronts him boldly, asking how he could do this to her during the most important time of her life. She does not want his excuses and his explanations either. In her anger, she also calls out the girl who shamelessly indulged a committed man but holds Shane responsible for most of it. As Sophia storms out, Shane tries to stop her but she does not listen. It is not until she's finally outside the studio that Sophia stops, listens for the song in her head, and feels liberated when she can no longer hear it. Drinking in the office, the night before the launch, Sophia finally tells Annie the truth about Shane. But after having confronted him, Sophia only wishes him the best. All she wishes is that he doesn't do this to the next girl. Annie admires Sophia's courage and thinks that it is very adult of Sophia to think this way. Sophia feels relieved, and as she looks around the office, she also feels proud of how far she has come. She is excited about the big launch the next morning. She and Annie spend the night drinking and making core memories. The next day, Sophia and her team gather around her laptop, just waiting for Sophia to push the publish button. And then she does, and the website goes live. And now, in a very anticlimactic sequence, all they can do is sit and wait for the show user activity. But Sophia, being Sophia, cannot wait that long and keeps clicking on refresh. Nothing new happens, and her anxiety levels start to spike up. But Annie reminds her that a watched pot never boils and that Sophia should focus on the party. Whatever else happens, it happens. Sophia manages to calm herself and leave the computer, but Annie is just as anxious and spends her time clicking refresh. When Sophia steps into the party area, she is wowed by Nathan's efforts to make it look amazing. Nathan proposes that he wants to be a part of Nasty Gal Vintage, and Sophia takes it into consideration. Rick, Sophia's last boss, shows up to support Sophia and she is happy to see him there. It has only been a few minutes before Annie goes back to refresh the website, and the results stun her completely. Something doesn't look right and she calls Kavi to check if what's happening. But even Kavi is shocked by the results. Annie asks Sophia to look at it and the rest is history because Sophia's launch party is a huge success. The website sold out in only the first few minutes of going live, and this is Sophia's biggest victory ever. The crowd cheers for Sophia and asks her to give a speech. The response overwhelms Sophia a little, but she still says a few words. She thanks each and every person in that room because she would not be anywhere without their help. Especially Annie, who was there for her every step of the way. The music starts again and everyone celebrates Sophia's success. But even as Sophia stands in that room with deafeningly loud music, she can still hear the haunting sounds of Shane's cheating song. Sophia walks out of her own party, overwhelmed by her own emotions, and lets herself cry for the first time since she found out the truth. After the party, Sophia invites Shane to her place. She looks like a mess and does not bother to hide from him that she's been crying. Shane tries asking about the lunch, but she does not want to talk about it. She needed to see him because she is still not over him. Sophia lets him know how deeply his betrayal affected her. She cared about him more than she let on, and he hurt her so badly. Sophia screams at him, wanting to understand why he cheated on her, but Shane knows just how much he messed up. Even though he claims that that girl means nothing to him, Sophia still wants to know every little detail about everything that happened. The rest of the night, Sophia and Shane run around in circles. They talk and fight and kiss, but at the end of the night, Sophia knows she has to let him go. Despite how much she loves him, she cannot forgive his betrayal. And though it hurts them both to part ways, they eventually do. With a heavy heart, Sophia enters her office the next day, but as she looks around the place, she can't help but feel a spark of joy at the success she has created. She opens her computer, and the customer demands flood in. Sophia thinks to herself, here we go.